Probably. I know what this is.
Okay, I think we're ready to go ahead with the program here. As I mentioned, our speakers tonight are Eileen Delaney, who's been with the whole club for about 20 years. 10 years. 10 years. Seems like 20. Yeah. And Ryan Joanne Sheehan has been with the Gretton Woods and Hope Lions clubs over the years. Both of them have a lot of experience with Leader Dogs for the Blind. Joanne has been a Leader Dog client for a number of years. She's had 3 Leader Dogs. They all had to retire because of age or health issues. Eileen has been representative district chair for Leader Dog. She's been a Leader Dog mom host, and he has a mom host now, well, retired mom host.
Yes, two retired.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, they have lots of experience with Leader Dog, and they're going to tell us tonight about what's going on lately and share a little bit of their experience as well, too. So let's give a warm welcome to Eileen and Joanne.
Thank you. First off, thank you for having us out tonight. My main thing is I've been challenged, and when I get challenged, I kind of go at it full force. So our challenge is for all Leader Dog chairs to get 100% participation from every club in our district. Now, I've got 35 clubs, I think, in our district, and I've got 29 of them scheduled to have presentations at. And 4 or 5 of them, I can't get a hold of anybody on their club. So I'm going to be rattling some more chains to get a hold of them, but we are going to hit the 100% this time. With that being said, a lot of clubs send in their donations automatic directly to Leader Dog, but I still pass my puppy. My puppy likes green stuff, and it's not vegetables. Everything that the puppy gets tonight goes towards your club, your donations. So I'm going to pass him around, go ahead and pass it around, pass it back up here when you got it done, and feed my puppy well, please. This story started with this puppy when we had a litter of brand new future Leader Dog puppies at our home. As we said, we hosted Mama Dogs, and Noreen Bowles, I was out at her club, and she says, she takes Dave's hat right off his head and says, "Those puppies eat a lot. Delaney's need some money." So she started passing Dave's hat around to collect money for us to feed our puppies. So I took money and sent it down to Leader Dog because we don't take money for what we do. That was all volunteer. But that started my Feed My Puppy. So this is how I got my puppy going. And it guarantees that every club I go to has donated something. So Leader Dog is going to get there close to 100% if we don't get 100%. So it's gone real well so far this year. And I feel like every time anybody sees me, they run and hide because I'm asking for money. As you all know, things have not gone down in pricing. Leader Dog works strictly on our donations from all the clubs around, and that keeps us afloat. There's no charge to our clients. They get their O&M training, which Joanne will talk about that a little bit, about the white cane training. They get their Leader Dog. We have a teen camp that the kids can come down, 16, 17-year-old kids can come down and spend a week, and it's no charge for them. When they come to get their dog, the dog is free, their room and board is free, and that's about 3 to 4 weeks time frame right there that they're at Leader Dog. So that's where we keep raising funds to help make sure that we can keep that no cost to our clients. Since COVID, we have started opening back up. We are now, this next class, going to start taking international students back again. And that's even no cost. They get their flight over here, they get their room and board, and a translator comes if we don't have somebody that speaks, whatever language that they're coming over here. So there's a lot of stuff that goes out, and we want to keep our slush fund. I had the last meeting I went to, well, Leader Dog has lots of money, just sitting around or whatever. Well, if everybody has their backup fund, you know, in case of emergencies or whatever. Yes, we have some money set back, but it's not lots and it's not gonna hold, you know, for forever. So that's why I continue to raise funds for Leader Dog. Leader Dog, dogs, or animals in general, but dogs and kids are my passion. They have been all my life. And when I dropped out of doing the state chair for youth exchange, that was a real hard decision for me, but I said I got to keep one of the two. And then Leader Dog was much easier for me than doing the camp again. So I stayed with Leader Dog. We do have a few other local fundraisers. This is something that your club can help out with, possibly. It's Dollars for Dogs. If you know of a business around town that would be interested in helping us out, they take this packet. There's a form in here for you to fill out for your club. Every dollar that gets donated through the company, the business, they send a check down to Leader Dog. You know, say you want to let it go for three weeks for them. They sell it, get donations, and they can give the people these tags, or they can hang them in their storefront windows or whatever. All that money then goes to credit through your club. So there's money, a donation that doesn't even come out of your treasury. But this is something, if you're interested in, I have these packets at my house, or you can take this one right here tonight, if you know somebody right offhand that you think you could get it to. With that, I'm gonna turn it over to Lion Joanne, and if you see me slap her, it's because she likes to talk. More than I do. So I'm gonna let her go on ahead and take over.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you again for inviting Lion Eileen and myself here. As you probably will know, I am an old-time Leader Dog client. I've had 3 Leader Dogs in the past over 30 years. And a year ago, I had to retire my 3rd Leader Dog. And so last summer, Leader Dog came up, Rod Hainline, if you know him, came and helped me get back to using, I call this my one-legged dog. So it's been quite a challenge, but because of my age and some medical problems, I have decided, no, you've had enough dogs, so let's try the cave for a while. I really have until May of 2024 to give them my final decision, but I did talk with Erica, O&M director, just last week, because they've been at me. Have you made your decision yet? And I said, they're doing a lot of thinking about this, a lot of praying, and it's just like, I know people have said, why don't you get a dog for a companion? Well, I keep telling them, Leader Dog does not issue dogs for companionship. They're out there to work for the person that needs help, that can't see. So anyway, this is what I'm using now. I have had my 3 dogs, like I've done for at least a good about 10 years. They help me get around. They were wonderful companions to me. If anybody would like to try, we can challenge you. See if you'd like to find a table or a chair. I know one time Eileen and I did a school this back several years ago, and the kids they had the teacher, they put a blindfold on him, and he had to come back and find his desk. Those kids up and moved his chair so he couldn't find it. Remember that, Eileen? But anytime you'd like to go down there, we'll help you out. And it'd be interesting what all the challenges are, and the training is very, very intense, I'll tell you. First of all, you gotta know how to use a plate cane for one thing. You gotta know if you're going left or right or straight or forward, and because you gotta tell the dog where you want the dog to go. It isn't just the dog, but I'll tell you one thing, they do learn mighty fast, because I moved to an apartment about almost 9 years ago, and Eileen kept Kura for a couple days when I was getting moved in, and she brought her back, and I took her outside. I said, okay, Kara. The next day I ride the cat a Spectran. That dog knew where to find the bus, because the bus was very similar to what she'd been riding on at Leader Dog. So these dogs are very smart. It takes a lot of training. and takes a lot of training from the client when they once go there. Actually, I lost my sight back in 1986 and used one of these for 5 years until good friend kept saying, you need to go get a four-legged cane. Well, I had 3 of them and I'm gonna try a one-legged cane for now. You guys got any questions? No?
Yep.
Oh, no, Karen's got one in.
Yeah, you talked about cost of training a leader dog and the whole program and everything. What's the average cost now for training a leader dog and client team?
The dog is worth over $40,000 by the time the client gets the dog. It's about $40,000.
Yeah, and does that include the client training as
That's
well?
client
Okay.
training, yeah, that's probably,
We don't pay for it.
yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, they train, they take all the training, food, and training,
The medical and everything
medical,
that they've done already.
that's right there.
Yeah.
They get all their shots and everything before you take them home.
Once a dog is out of, graduates or is out of school, do they go back for refresher courses through the period of time or?
Not normally, not normally. If the client and the dog seem to be having problems once they get home, they'll send a field rep out and work with them at their home. That's, I mean, they want the dog to get acclimated, obviously, to their home territory and stuff. So, field rep will come out at any time anybody feels that they need extra help or whatever. Hey, I go to the downtown library all the time and she's just seems really confused or whatever. So they'll come and they'll go downtown. How do you get there? Okay, we go that way. And then they go down, right, and watch the dog, what's it doing, what's confusing it or whatever. A lot of times it's surprising, it's somebody talking to the dog or making eye contact with the dog. It loses its concentration and it messes them up really bad. So anytime there's a dog in any kind of harness, unfortunately all of these support dogs or whatever that have a harness on, ignore them,
People think the dog's not working, but the dog is working because it's got a harness on.
So, yes, another.
We have a middle school group,
The Leos.
right, and they are interested in leader dog. However, they went to Rochester pre-COVID, and it's just not feasible for the group to go down. Is there anything that we could, do you have any suggestions of how to involve them in something that could be a little different than raising money? Because they seem to, the school raises money for so many things, it's a
Right.
little awkward.
Right, for them to do something.
Russell's waiting to leave, I guess I'll just tell him to leave and.
Let me think on that. We would, did they ever get down to leave?
Yeah, they went
did.
to
Okay.
Rochester, maybe not this group of kids, but the
Yeah.
teachers talked to me about not wanting to go back to Rochester.
Right,
And so
right.
I was kind of wondering, what else could we do?
We'd be more than happy to come do a presentation. I'd try to get some puppy raisers in so we could bring some puppies with us. Surprisingly, with parents' permission, the kids can raise a dog. Yeah, parents. Yeah. We do have high schoolers that have raised.
Yeah.
And they take of course, that's a lot of commitment, and we have a lot of, Michigan State right now only has 4 college kids that are raising on campus. But, that really gives the dog a lot of experience. So that's why we try to do is get some college kids to come out.
Well, I wondered about, when you're talking about your business group, is that might be something that the kids could go to the businesses and ask them to get involved with the cards.
Yeah, with these cards, yeah.
I don't know that it would happen this year, but I'm just thinking for next year.
Yeah, well, this is supposed to be an ongoing thing, so, yeah, I know this is getting close to the end of the year already for them and stuff, but, yeah, I would be more than happy to, at the first of the year next year, come out and,
September,
get you,
so September, October.
get you set up with, trying to put some of these, again, get quite a few packets and,
See if that's something
yeah, see
they
if
want
that's
to
something you
adopt
want
or
to do,
something.
yeah.
Because that way they don't have to give money.
Right.
The parents don't have to give
The
money.
parents
They
don't,
can
yeah.
talk to somebody.
Yeah, right. But, we do have, I see it's on your agenda to talk about the, district Zoom presentations they're doing on Sunday night. I do have a few of the flyers here that have the QR code if you're interested in getting in on this week's topic is leader dog. You can get a lot more information, from them. I can leave these with Karen, and if anybody wants them.
I think Doug sent this out in an email, didn't you?
I did. and
You did,
You
okay.
can also go to that link that's on the agenda.
Okay, okay,
But,
okay,
yeah,
good,
there's a
you
QR
got
code
it,
too.
oh, great. Yeah, so that was our big thing here. We are trying to get another, trip down there for 11C2. Right now, it's tentatively scheduled for, the day of the Michigan State football game. So you guys are doing the tickets, right? So, they do have two other, and I think if we change the date, it wouldn't be a problem, we just need to let Leader Dog know. But everything is with these silly QR codes now. I can't just call them and say, I'm bringing down a group of 50 people, we're gonna be here this and this day. Now we have to pre-register, sign up on the QR code and all this stuff, and it's like, I don't do that stuff, you know, but I'll figure it out, and I will, you know, let everybody in the district know, because when we picked the Michigan State, it was actually, oh gosh, I can see him, I can picture him, but I can't. But anyways, he's the big Michigan fan, and I told him, Kurt Strumlin, I says, Kurt, you realize you scheduled this for the Michigan State game day? He says, yeah, that's okay. Kurt said that, yeah. I thought for sure he would say, no, forget it, we can't do it that day. And the only reason I found out it was the Michigan State game is because I tried to charter a bus. And they, no, sorry, we're busy. So, any other questions or anything, you know, Karen's got my number's in the roster, you know, give me a call anytime, I'd be more than happy to help you. I want to thank you for your great donation, it was $108, that will go into your, I'll send down the Leader Dog and go on your credit. Appreciate it very much. One more question, Lee?
Well, this is for Lion President, I would like to make a motion that the proceeds, the club's portion of the proceeds from the 50/50 also go to feed the puppy.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. We've had a motion and a second to take our 50/50 donations and add that to the donations. Dave's already acting on it. Anybody opposed? Or everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We're good.
Well, thank you so much. It's like $15 more going. Great, thank you.
Eileen and Joanne, thanks so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
tonight. We have a couple of minutes. One is a Brainerd Park Memorial Mug, and the other is you can decide between you who gets which one.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks again so
Thank
much
you
for
so
coming
much.
tonight, and we'll see you around the district.
Okay,
I
yeah.
knew this time.
Eileen said that they would like to leave ahead of time. They already know what a Lions Club meeting looks like, so although you're more than welcome to do so.
Thank you again, everybody.
Thank
Well,
Thank you.
Very good dinner.
Thank you.
Very good.
Okay, next item on the list is the secretary's report.
The secretary's report, the minutes are on the back of your agenda. There is one correction. Ken Matthews was here, okay? So if you want to write Ken's name in the minutes, that would be very helpful. I haven't heard from anybody else yet.
Yeah, if you know which one. Any questions about the secretary's report? Okay, moving along then to Ryan Rich, and the treasurer's report, and I think probably the Texas Hold'em report too, right?
I have both, that
Okay.
is true. Okay, so I have a note for you here. So administrative account stands at $8,910.99. Gaming stands at $12,128.62. Donations at $3,561.56. From Texas Hold'em, bills are paid. We had a little work to make sure I got the invoice from Aces, but got that last night. Check's ready to go. So final number Profit for the Lions is $2,961.70. It's down a little bit from December by about 200. Our best one since COVID was the July one, which was almost 4,000. The two we had before that were considerably less. So I think we did pretty good, especially since we had one day that
Yeah, thanks.
was super slow. That apparently there's a big event, poker event down at Firekeepers. So, Lion Jeff and Lion Karen and Lion Sid spent the day napping.
Go, we had a good conversation.
I have the, I would like to get together with you after the meeting. I have the report to sign off on.
Okay.
Got that prepared? Any questions?
I have a question. At some point, it would be nice to get a better understanding of what do we make money at? What is the money that we make? Where does it come from? And so you're giving about $9,000 to the gaming, and I just don't understand the process.
When the players play, and they wager and whatnot, then the dealer takes what they call a rake,
Yeah, we get the rate.
and we get the rake.
So do we get the rate?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that the only thing we get is the, so the
We're
29?
not giving $9,000 to the gaming commission. I think that's what's in our account to use, right?
So our total deposit was $5,824. And that came from the rake plus the
Tournament.
profit from the tournaments. Tournaments don't make a lot of money, $400. Most of it comes from the Omaha tables, where I think essentially they pay per hand, is what the rate is, okay? So that goes in, and then every hour or so we go around and pick that up. That's where we make money. It's a negative sum game for the players. The players absolutely, as a group, go home with less money than they came in the door with. But they've entertained themselves mostly for a while.
So the $2,900 is the rate. Is it anything else?
So the $2,900 is what's left after we pay our bills. The $5,824 is the rate plus the profits from the tournament.
Okay.
And nothing else, nothing other than that.
Then what's our bills?
Our bills, there's a percentage that Gases can charge us.
Okay.
But I think it's, the charity must make a minimum of 55% of what comes in. So that they've got all this billing, but then they don't charge us everything that they're billing us for. Because it's, if you look on the detailed invoice, they're paying they say they're paying the dealers so much, but the dealers don't get that because it's not coming in, so. At any rate, so, 55% minimum charity, max expenses 35%. That doesn't count the license fee, and that doesn't count the meals, okay? But the rental was $500 for the room,
And we pay that out of the money that,
yeah.
it's not the rate then, it's.
That comes out of, essentially that comes out of the rate.
So how much would we have, and I'm just asking because I don't understand. How much would we have taken in totally for the rate? $12,000?
No, $5,824 less, about $400 for, the 2 nights worth of, tournaments.
Oh, okay.
So the rate was probably about $5,400, $5,600.
I get it.
I mean, I can find it if you
No,
need it,
no,
I've
no,
got
I
the stuff
don't,
here.
I don't mean that, I just meant I
yeah,
was
the other-
curious where,
The other thing to keep in mind is the amount of money that the players leave behind when they go home is our rate. Any food they buy, which does not pass through our hands. And most of them tip the dealers.
Mhm.
And I kept track of that one time. and it's noticeable.
Oh,
Yeah,
Everybody bought it once.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Catching this.
So, and I don't have it come into memory, but I estimated that at the time that maybe 80% they go back home with, and
Oh.
20% stays between tips, rake. and
No, I was
whatever.
just kind of wondering that, you know, what goes to the people that are running the gaming that are there, the woman that.
Aces?
Aces, you know, what they get and where they get it. Now,
So
I
Aces,
understand now.
now Ace's bill this time around was $2,615.40.
Uh-huh. And do
so-
they come up with that bill, or do they?
Yeah.
They send you a bill?
Yeah, like, that's what I was waiting for, I got last night.
Uh-huh.
Probably they'd sent a copy to the Stan and had the Stan open up his email, and I think we've got the addresses correct now, so that the invoice is coming to me
Mhm.
from Heather.
Okay.
So, yeah, and somewhere in that invoice gives the breakdown of everything, and then, and then they'll readjust it. So probably the bill before they sorted out to just 45% is probably closer to like $4,000 with what they charge for the dealers. But the dealers really are making their money from the tips from the
Yeah.
dealers, although it shows that they're paying the dealers.
I was just kind of curious if our profit comes from the rate, actually.
Yep, that's the
It
only,
must really add up over the time.
Yep.
You asked about $9,000 in a gaming account or
Yeah,
something?
that must be over the time.
Yeah, that's over a period of time, and
Yeah.
that's actually our money, right?
that's our money. Well, it's the
But
gaming account.
that they
and-
require us to have a separate account for, right?
Yeah, they do that, and when we possibly have been doing things incorrectly, and I still haven't done the work to sort out the details. I'm not entirely sure when I asked the question. But typically beforehand, and probably Terry did it, Ken did it, and would be to just keep enough money for startup in the gaming account and then transfer money over to donations account down the way. And I did that once, and then Karen had gotten some information that said, no, don't do it that way. You can't transfer money out, you can just pay out of it. So I've been keeping the money and running donations out of both the donations account and the gaming account. So if we get donations, that can go into the donations account. Gaming account is pretty flush, so I think most of our donations this year, including the scholarships, will probably come out of the gaming account.
I appreciate you explaining it.
Yep, if you want more, we can sit down with Quick.
No, let's switch that. Let's switch that to
Bad
the
enough.
overview, they got longer than I
That's enough.
expected.
We can switch that if need be to a session down at Bad Brewing, sort of the meeting here. Okay, let's move on here. Sweepstakes tickets. Doug, what's our status? Still at 35 or?
Oh, then we missed the Leo Club.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cindy?
Oh, yes, the Leo Club, I think there's a sheet that Doug passed out, but
Yep.
I went Friday. And they had two people from Small Talk come and talk about what Small Talk was, which is a nonprofit organization that the Leos have been working on for several years. And they created a pinwheel garden like they have for several years. If you drive by the middle school, you'll see the pinwheels that are between the road and the sidewalk. One thing I will mention is, because this did come up from one of the Leo's kids, they were talking about raising money. And she did say, is there some way we could do this without having our parents have to raise money? On some other topic, not leave dog, but for some other thing they want to do. And that was interesting, that it sounds like parents are getting hit so many times to donate something to schools that they're getting frustrated.
Mhm.
So I just raised that, you know, oh, I guess there's one other thing. I'm thinking we might wanna do a pizza party at the end of the year for them. It's, the easiest thing is to do everything at the school, so Amber is, I mean, they're not having Leos until the 14th of April, but sometime in April I have to talk to her and see what we could do, what they'd like to have done at the school. Then people, of course, would be like,
Okay, anything else about Leo's questions? Okay, now Jeff.
Now, behind the banners back here, okay, because things are moved around in here, we have some sweepstake tickets left, we have 35 left, okay? Next time we meet, if those 35 are still there, I'll probably make a motion that we buy the tickets. But, we do have to have them in by the end of April, so just let people know. So you still got some time to sell them. There are 35 left to pick up. And there's, I think, I'm not sure, but I think I'm the only one who hasn't turned his money in yet. So that's on the sweepstakes. Yeah, so that's that, I guess.
Okay, celebration of service. Jeff and Doug and I were all there. The eyeglass challenge came up, I did write numbers down when they announced them. In our club size, the prizes were Bancroft collected 857, Bretton Woods 4,000, and first place was Brighton at 5,250 pairs of glasses. So, one thing I'll mention about the certificates that Doug and Jeff and I got, the ones that Jeff and I got, and Doug got one too, but those three were just for having a title. Now, Doug also got that International President Certificate of Appreciation, which is a very nice recognition. It's the 4th highest award that you can get in Lions International, with the 3rd one being an International President's Service Medal, and then an International President's Medal, which any of us could theoretically get. And then there's an Ambassador of Goodwill, which mostly goes to international directors when they're leaving their position. So most of us are never gonna see one of those. So anyway, that was a really nice recognition for Doug and all the work he's done on public relations for the district this year.
I want to thank everybody for their support, because without the club, I couldn't have done it. That's for sure.
Okay, and other than that, it was nicely done service. We had a project on Friday night that we assembled packets for people who are in shelters. Then the memorial service was nicely done. We had a nice meal, nice speaker, had fun at the, what do you call it? Hospitality suite on Friday night. So anyway, that's the report. MACC Awards dinner. Doug.
That was last Thursday night, and some of our friends of our club, most notably Debbie Zielinski from the Mason Food Bank, got Citizen of the Year award. So that was excellent to hear. And then next month, one of our speakers, who's also been a visitor here, Linda Hewson from Mason Community Services. Mason Community Services got a special recognition award as well. And then there are a bunch of other folks who get awards, but those are the ones that our club probably knows the best.
Very good. Let's see, April 12th, we're going to have our District Governor Tracy Tripoli here. She'll probably talk about Bear Lake Camp along with other things related to the district, since she is now the director of Bear Lake Camp. April 26th, Linda Hewson, that Doug just mentioned, she's going to talk about the community services team. Okay, Jenny, could you give us an update on Stan?
Same old.
Oh, okay.
The wound is getting better.
Okay.
It's getting small, and he's just got to try and do something about it. He's got to do it himself. Can't wait to do it for him.
Thank you. I saw someplace on Facebook that Rod Urban is scheduled for surgery. Does anybody know anything about that?
I had knee surgery when
Knee
We
surgery.
had a knee replacement surgery that,
Okay. Okay.
and Ken Carlson is
Okay.
having his shoulder replaced on the 13th.
Oh, okay, so lots of people to keep in mind.
I guess he doesn't have a choice, he's been in therapy for 3 months.
Now, something that keeps popping on us, we get emails about it all the time, is that with the new system that's gonna be going in at Lions Club International, everybody has to have their own email address. And so if you're sharing an email with a spouse who's also a Lion, then you need to find a new one. And it doesn't have to be something you ever look at ever again, you just need to get it established to start with. Could be on your kid's computer or whatever, but even if you never look at it, you do have to have your own
Can you hear this?
email address.
I was gonna try to get the list so that we could all go through that in case I was missing anybody,
Oh,
but I don't
okay.
have it tonight. I'll have it next
Okay.
time.
Yeah, that's, gonna be rolled out midsummer, but they want us to have everything in place like by the end of April or something like that.
I tried.
Okay, last time I was pretty spacey and didn't know what I was talking about with Bear Lake. They do have a special request going on. They want to replace their golf carts, which are 15 years old now. What they're asking for is $100 from every club in the state. So, we can include that in our budget process, which we do need to set up a meeting to do that, or we can make a special donation separately from that.
And if we do it separately, we do it when Tracy comes.
There you go, okay.
and this is all.
Okay, we'll call that a motion, can we have a second?
Second.
Second, okay, all in favor? Okay, any opposed? No, okay. This one is from Doug. It's Mason Community Services is looking for
Separate from our.
operating money.
Yes,
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing something here.
no, Rich didn't catch all of it.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah,
If we bring a big check next time, Tracy, what should it have on it? My question.
yeah, it should have $100 on it, it's our club's contribution to the state.
Is that
fund.
above and beyond what we approved for donations?
Yes, because they're asking for more to
That
replace
that was
it.
Yeah, right.
Jenny's motion,
I just-
yes.
Trying to understand what
Oh.
we're doing.
So this, it's just this $100 for this next time, right?
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, and then separately we'll consider what our annual donation to.
Okay.
We already made the annual donation.
As, speaking of Bear Lake Camp, there is a district-wide fundraiser that will be April 14th, that's a Friday. It's gonna be at the Masonic Lodge and Grand Lodge. It's always a fun event. They have lots of door prizes, raffles, silent auctions, things like that, games, food. If they follow tradition, they'll have lots of homemade pies that are just wonderful. So, something to keep in mind, it's a fundraiser for them again. So, let's see, this community service thing, we're looking for monthly sponsors. And as I reread this, I think what we're gonna do is have Doug include it with the next meeting notice, rather than try to cover all the detail right now.
Yeah, we could probably, if we decide to do anything for them, we could do that at the meeting that Linda's coming to.
That's a good idea, yes, okay.
So we'll talk about it next time.
Okey dokey. New business is eyeglass assistance. We've been working with Mason Family Eye Care over the years. And we can continue to do that. Another option though is that the Lions of Michigan Foundation has a fund that they call Mikey's Fund. It's set aside for vision care. Over the years, traditionally, that's been limited to the Lansing, pretty much Lansing area. The fund has grown enough that they have enlarged that to include Ingham County. So people who are anywhere in Ingham County can get glasses referrals through this. They do have to go to LOI Care, but there's no cost to the club for that. You know, somebody had suggested, go ahead.
People asking, who ask for assistance, unfortunately, the last one we just got, they had insurance to pay for an eye exam, but they wanted us to buy frames and glasses, and I said, you do not do that as a club.
Okay.
We've done with, Zelinski and Lindsay, and we pay him a certain amount.
Mhm.
Now, we've let them pay more to upgrade the frames if they didn't like what he had, but we pay X amount and we don't just pick up glasses. Because our job is to do vision.
Melinda, you must have some thoughts on this since you're the most recent coordinator.
The last couple times that I've been in contact with and in fact, I'm in contact right now with one of the counselors at the middle school, is the kids have insurance and the counselors don't know that. And so I've kind of educated them on what Dr. Lindsley can do for them. However, this particular child right now, I've called, left messages, I guess they're not, English speaking is not their first language, and so then there's those kind of barriers, but there's also barriers with transportation and getting people to LOI, which is in Lansing somewhere, right?
Mhm.
I'm sorry?
It's off of Lake Lansing Road.
Yeah, so, I mean, if the foundation can do what we've been doing, I'd say go for it.
Okay. Okay. They have a fairly comprehensive form that asks the people themselves, or on form about their insurance and, pretty detailed questionnaire.
We must ask.
I just, from a public relations standpoint, we have had a good relationship with, Mason Family Eye Care, the Lindsley's, for a long time. And I kind of hate to see them think that we all of a sudden abandoned them, because they still collect eyeglasses for us and stuff like that. So my proposal is that we would do 2 a year through Lindsley and do the rest through LOI.
Would you like to state that as a motion?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a second? How about discussion?
I think it's a great idea. What I would wonder about in listening to Melinda, possibly, is there a way that we augment what they're doing at LOI Care and, or Doc Lindsay? And what I mean by that is that if transportation costs are a problem, they need a gas card. If it's, something else, is that what we could support versus?
Mason Community Services has a transportation service.
Okay,
We could probably,
work with them, get something formal set up. Okay,
So there isn't really anything that needs to be covered anymore then?
well, there would be if we decided to do 2 a year.
Yeah, if the motion carries, then, it would be for the two.
And how would you decide that?
First 2?
Yeah, first two.
Okay,
What
any
was the
further
amount?
discussion?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we will need someone to write up the procedures. Doug, if you'd like to write down what the motion was, and then we can fill it in with procedures.
Yeah, and there are forms up there, in case anybody's curious, from Lindsley's office that they would like us to use from now on for the ones that we do through them.
And sometimes I get a phone call and they're not even from Mason, so I have to direct them to whichever club is closest to them.
Right, and I get those too, I get those all the
So
time.
if we just send them to LOI after we've done our first 2, that's a lot easier.
Yeah, that's true, but I'd rather have them go through their
How
local
many do
club.
we normally get in a year? I mean,
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think I've only had 2 bills so far this year from Lindsley.
No, thanks.
I think a further step on that process would be to write down what the procedures are and give those to the counselors at the schools.
That'd be a good idea.
First check for insurance.
Yeah, well,
That isn't one.
the Lions of Michigan one has all those questions on it, and I don't know if Dr. Lindsley would want to modify his form to also include those questions, or they still want us to ask them.
He's got spots for that out.
Okay. All right, so eyeglass assistance. Spring Fling, Doug, you want to fill us in on that?
Back on the back table, right next to where we have the raffle tickets, is a sign-up sheet for Spring Fling, believe it or not, it's coming up. And so we need some people to help us set up, take down, and sit in the booth for that. We are gonna be accompanied by, I think, our past district governor, Kurt, for Eversight.
Yes, and I think others have shown some interest as well, at least having materials there, so.
Do you have anything particular that we can ask the Leos to do?
The Leos? Well, we should be thinking about it, yeah.
I got an idea, maybe, do we do white cane at all anymore? I mean, is that something the Leos could do?
Perfect.
We've done it before in
They
Spring
could
Fling.
stand out and collect money
I
and
think I might
have
have
it.
some cane.
Yeah, and we've got the big
Candy's
can.
better. The candy is much better to get that out.
The problem probably is because they're so young, they may have a parent to stand with them, I don't know, or one of us.
One year we had somebody that collected more money than anybody else.
Yep.
Yes.
She just went around and harassed people. And you never know if you get 1 meal or 5, but looking at.
But I would say, you know, if they collect, we're not doing it anymore, if they collect it, give it to them.
If we decide to do that, I better tell the chamber, because when I was the executive director, I wouldn't have allowed that.
Oh.
Well, if they stand at our.
Well,
booth,
we
they
used to
can.
have
If they stand at our booth, they can.
Yeah, they can't, just can't walk around, yeah.
But the only people that have permission to do that is the American Legion.
We used to have to get a permit from the city too.
Yeah. If we had the permit from the
Saying
city.
that we were
I
gonna
think-
be out doing white cane on the streets.
Yeah, but we could do that anywhere but around the courthouse
Right,
during
Oh,
spring
okay.
fling. I'm
Okay.
just thinking we do wanna do it around the courthouse too, so. But
okay.
we could have them in front of bestsellers and in
Right.
front of the other
We
stores.
did not ask.
No,
She
we
just
never
took
did
off.
before, yeah.
Did it. But it would be good to ask.
No, I'm just I'd say that we should warn them, and I'd ask them.
If they wanted to collect at our booth though, they could do that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
If they wanted to.
But if we decide to send them out on the corners along with the American Legion who's doing the poppies,
That
okay?
same weekend?
They do it the same
Yeah.
time, so.
I don't think that it's, we want to send them out, I think it's more they just decide and their kids just take off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then they come back and bring them right back. And,
I'm sorry, I didn't see that they left.
yeah,
It's just that if they get any complaints,
White Cane used to be 2 weekends, and one of them was always spring fling weekend, but the weekend before that,
Mhm.
when nobody was out on the streets, that's when we were usually out on the streets, not doing it during our booth.
Yeah.
I mean, this is years ago though, I understand.
oh, I understand, yeah.
Yeah.
When-
Yeah, the normal White Cane week is the week before spring fling, that according to the way that it's set up. But we've always said, well, we'll collect White Cane at spring fling, but we never really have put much into that.
I mean, you have no investment, you have, whatever you collect is yours, and
I think I still have a cane for the little.
They still have aprons and things that wears, which we should take away from.
Yeah, I don't know what,
So,
where's this
so we're
thrown
not
out there.
cluttering up their space anymore. Okay, poker room is coming up again.
Yeah, there's another sign-up sheet back there. It's May, okay, it's just right after spring fling, so, got another poker.
Okay, we mentioned briefly budget a minute ago, just to start thinking about when we could get together to do that. And then officers for next year, we've got pretty good.
Line Karen,
What?
under
Oh, we
other
had a new
items?
business, yes, let's
Under
say.
other items, so, this came to me because, Ruth has taken on, missions coordinator at church, but, Lions Club's got a connection with this too, this is Youth Haven Ranch. And Lion Jerry Smith had a big heart for that place. And they've got a work day coming up, May 20th, that it's a possible opportunity, I know we're gonna have people from Robbins going out there, and they do that to get the facility, the grounds and everything ready to go. There's a fair amount of outside work, but I remember last year there's a fair amount of inside work and cleaning and stuff, that can be done too, so, and there's some sit-down jobs for, washing globes from chandeliers and things like that, and getting things up, so, they like to know groups that are coming, who's coming, because you get a lunch on the deal. So if there's interest, we can look at, I can touch base with them and tell them we've got some coming, and we can have a sign up for that at our next meeting. Because we've got plenty of time to sort this out. But is there an interest? Saturday, May 20th, I'd have to check, but if I remember correctly, it's like from 9 to 3 or something like that.
We have poker room during the day, beginning at 11. Just to let you know.
Okay, yep, and that'll take care of a couple people, but, so, if there's interest, I can do that, if there's not interest, people can maybe through your own, connections get out there.
Okay, thanks, Rich.
Hmm.
Thank you, good service option. Okay, any other new business that we need to cover?
I've got one other kind of announcement thing, and that is, the chamber is doing a night of networking and community hosted by Bad Brewing on April 6th. That's from 5:30 to 7:30. Lion Karen and I talked about at the forum about possibly wearing some Lions gear and going to some of these things. So if you wanna go drinking, that's the
There we
time.
go.
But wear your Lions gear so we can talk to people about becoming Lions.
There you go. Cindy, you have something?
yeah, we, need to have a date when we can count flags.
Oh, all right. Anybody have a suggestion?
No, I mean, do we wanna do it here at the club meeting in May?
Okay, Doug, how are we?
I don't have
saying?
anything in May yet.
Okay, so like May 10th then?
Yeah.
Let's plan on May 10th.
Are we gonna have 5,000?
No. But I did, I mean, Lynn shared with me that somebody took our glasses from someplace with his name on them, no less.
Really? Dirty little birds.
They're really competitive.
I think I
Seems
have
like a
to
good
in my house.
ex-detective could run that down.
Yeah. Should have done some different.
Yeah.
I'll admit, Lynn, if it was City Hall, I have them in my car. It was on the drag, so.
It wasn't there.
Any other new or old business? We do have Lion Club officers for next year to consider. We have just 2 spots to fill now, and that is second vice president and a new director in the first year. Jeff has signed up for one of the empty slots. So who'd like to be second vice president? Somebody that hasn't done it for a while? You can let me know afterwards if you're shy. And then also inspector in the first year, and as you know, that's not a heavy duty type of a job, but,
I'll do that one.
oh, all right,
I mean,
thank
as a
you.
president, sometimes probably that people are tired of me.
Well, they're probably tired of me
Oh,
too,
we
so,
like you.
thank you,
Bring
Terry.
Debbie with you once in a while, please.
For what?
Yeah. People are tired of her, too,
Okay.
there's you.
If there's no other business to conduct, let's go ahead with the 50/50s.
Well, $14 to the lucky winner, and the last, 3 numbers are 220.
That's mine,
Missed by 1.
that's mine.
Yeah.
I would have given it to Leader Dog, but I'll save it for Bear Lane.
There you go. All
Okay,
right.
Joker draw.
So the Joker draw is up to $73.50 right now. So. What do we have? Somewhere down in there, is that the one you want? Okay, I have a number on here that says 573, or the last.
573.
All righty.
572. 1.
Who was it? Tony?
Tony,
Tony,
Tony, I
I'm terrible at
It
those.
is mine,
So,
yeah. That's up mine.
you can shuffle if you want, cut if you want.
Ace.
We got an ace of spades.
All right.
Ace of spades.
Yeah, maybe that's mine.
Long ways away on this side. I got nothing on this end. You got it, Tony?
Did mine, we did it on
Okay,
purpose.
right? Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. It was there earlier. I checked. Oh, here he is.
There you
He's
go.
like
I
every-
can't see it.
Yeah, quite a ways away. Quite a ways away. You're safe again. Pull that ace out.
Yeah, so you missed 5 meetings.
If there's no further business, I hereby adjourn the meeting.
And don't forget to hit the sign-up sheets before I do, so you can get your choice, because otherwise I'll take mine.
Oh, well
Take them home.
Great.
I know. I only have
Nice
to
to see you.
have those
Hi,
runs
how are
from,
you?
1 PM to 2 AM, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was
After you
We're
get
done
out
on the, that really makes a good date for the next
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Oh,
I never know what my brain, but there's no way of knowing, you can think it's changed.
Get close to
Drink lots of caffeine.
Never had it,
The
never.
thing is, sometimes it works till 2 AM. Yeah.
That's right, that's right.
Show.
how are you, Karen? Good. I can't find out how you're doing. Good, so you're open whatever bug you have, no?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We get lunch at South Lansing tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So, yeah, I told that in.
I have no idea.
We'll
No idea.
head out Pole Road and
I never got
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Where's yours, down here?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I got a hat and a sleeve.
Yeah, I felt it.